I'm Les.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Tabletop Tastings.
That it is. It's the perfect pairing of board games
and whiskey tastings.
Les.
Yes, Steve?
What do you have for us this time?
Well, I brought an interesting game for us today.
Okay.
The game I brought for you was released in 2023, so just this past year, by DV Games. Now, DV Games, this is the studio behind such series as Bang, the Dice series. They're behind the Detective series and the Wonder Book. So not as big as some of the other publishers, but some of their games are well known. The game itself was designed by a trio, Rosaria.
This is my favorite part.
It was designed by a trio, Rosaria Battiato, Massima Borzi, and Martino Ciccaceria. That's probably not right.
There's no way that's right.
That's right.
But I love it.
That's great. They are Italian game designers.
Okay.
Now, these designers may be a bit lesser known because each of them have just a few games under their belts, many of them under the DV Games brand. Martino, he's got a few more than the others, but still isn't huge. Okay. The artist of the game, and I like this one, it's David Moghadami. And he's actually a freelance Canadian artist who does some really, really cool concept art.
Okay, cool.
But I believe this is the first game that he's ever worked on. So we've got a lot of newer people in the industry who have designed this game.
Yeah.
Steve,
Yes.
are you familiar with Bonsai?
Bonsai?
No, Bonsai.
Oh, no, I don't. I thought you meant like the little trees that you clipped and
Well, you
the
may
Japanese little trees?
not be that far from what we're talking about.
Okay.
Since the Yin and Zhou dynasties nearly 3,000 years ago, people in China have cultivated ornamental plants to imitate natural scenery. Using special techniques, they would grow dwarf trees in containers. And the art was later adapted by the Japanese, who call it bon, which means pot, and sai, which means to plant.
Oh, cool.
Bonsai, which you hit right on the head,
yeah.
are living works of art and in constant change.
Okay.
A bonsai is a never finished masterpiece, a plant that keeps growing and changing and is usually passed along from generation to generation. And it's not unusual to see bonsai that are several centuries old. With a 7.5 rating on BGG, today we're creating our own bonsai trees in this 1 to 4 player open drafting and tile playing game, Bonsai.
Bonsai!
Let's reveal and take a look.
Ooh, let's see. I love the box.
It's beautiful.
Artistry on that's fantastic.
So David did a really great job with the artwork for this game.
It's kind of cool. He's a Canadian guy.
Canadian guy, yeah. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's Bonsai. I'll set it up here.
Perfect. That is
Check it
real. I love the art on that. That's
a great
fantastic.
looking game.
Okay.
And I like this game and how it looks as well. Everything's kind of chunky and has a good heavy feel to it.
Nice.
Plus it's pretty because as we build out our bonsai trees, we're going to get to see them grow.
Okay.
So I'll run through the rules here.
Okay.
We start off with our pot.
Okay.
And we're going to start building our bonsai trees through them. Now we start off with one piece of wood already on our plant, or on our pot for our plant.
Yep.
And that's going to be the foundation or the starting place of our tree.
Okay.
So we got 4 different things that we're putting on our trees here. We've got wood, we've got some leaves, or leaves, I guess would be the plural of that. We've got some cherry blossoms, and we've got some fruit.
Nice.
So what we're going to do is we're going to build up our trees. Now each of the different components have rules to them. So when we're placing wood pieces, which we start off with a wood piece, I'm player 1, so I start with just a single wood piece.
Okay.
You're player 2, you start with a wood and a leaf. If there were 3 players, it would be a wood, a leaf, and a cherry blossom, and then the 4th player would get all 4.
They would get all 4.
That's right.
Okay.
So rules for placement. Wood tiles wood tiles have to connect to other wood tiles.
Okay.
So whenever you're placing a wood tile, it has to connect to a wood tile.
Okay.
Leaves. And they do a nice job graphically on this as well because they show a little illustration of one little piece of wood on it.
Down on the bottom there.
So leaves have to touch at least one piece of wood.
Okay.
So I could do that. They can touch multiple pieces of wood, that's fine, but they have to touch at least, at a minimum, every leaf has to touch one piece of wood.
Okay.
Cherry blossoms, and they do kind of the same thing. They got a really nice little graphic there to show, but every cherry blossom needs to touch a leaf.
Okay.
And kind of same thing with that. It can touch other things or it can touch more leaves, but it has to, at minimum, always touch one leaf.
Okay.
And this brings us to our fruit. And our fruit, again, illustrated very nicely on the tile, but it has to connect to 2 adjacent leaf tiles.
Okay.
So the fruit, and notice again, it kind of how it's drawn there,
Yeah.
has to match up like that. Now, the other rule with fruit is fruit cannot touch other fruit. And to help you remember this, there's this nice little reference card that we each have. And this also talks to end of game scoring as well. So at the end of the game, it says we're not going to get any point for the wood pieces that we have. But it does say every leaf we have is going to give us 3 points. It says here every cherry blossom, it's going to score us a point for every side of that cherry blossom that's not touching anything else.
Okay.
And then at the end, the fruit, that scores a whopping 7 points, but it shows next to that the fruit can never be beside other fruit.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a nice little reference for the end of the game as we go. So, how do we actually play the game? And I'm just going to return these back here. When it's your turn, we've got the choice of one of 2 actions.
Okay.
So the first could be meditate. And if we meditate, what that means is we're drawing one of the cards that's on the display here. And there's about 5 different card types that show up on the display.
Okay.
Anything with the borders here on it and the points, those indicate that at the end of the game, we're going to score whatever point values are indicated on them. And there's really one of these scoring cards for each of the different types of components to the tree and for each of the different card types as well. So this one here says at the end of the game we get 2 points for every cherry blossom that we have on our tree. And that's the only one of that card type that exists.
Okay.
Over here, we've got our masters. And what masters do is they help you gain components for your tree. So this master here, if I were to take this master, he would give me 2 wood pieces, which I would store next to my, we're just going to look up the word of it, Sishi. So this is my Sishi. So you would store those points next to, or those components next to your Sishi.
Okay.
In addition, if I take it from here, because it's in this spot, I would also get a leaf and a orange.
Okay.
And then what happens is this would come off the board. All of these would slide this way, and then a new card would come out. So that's what masters do. Okay. Over here, we have a tool. And what a tool does is right now in our Sishi, we can only store 5 components to our plant.
Okay. Yeah.
So what these do, a tool, you would add to the left-hand side of it, and then it allows you to store 7 components to your plant.
Nice.
There are also other growth cards that would go on the side here and allow you to grow more, which let's talk about cultivate then. So action number 1 is you can meditate, which is really just taking a card here and then getting the benefits for it. The other action that you could take, so it's an either or type thing, would be cultivate. Okay. And cultivating is taking the pieces you have here and putting them up here. Okay. Now, with cultivating, you can only ever put up the pieces that you have available in your C sheet. So this one, the first one's a wild card, so that can be anything you want. And then I've got a tree or wood and a leaf. Okay. So just looking at what I have down here right now, I would kind of say, okay, I can do my leaf, I can do my wood, and then I got to decide, you know, I've got 2 more pieces. Do I want to use the wood or do I want to use the fruit? Okay. And that's where taking those other growth cards can allow you to play more things up on your tree at one go. Okay. So I'm going to return these back to the general supply. And that's really all there is to it, with the exception of we've got some additional scoring here throughout the game. So what these are, and there are different ones in the game, you just kind of draft which ones you want before you start. But the 3 that we're using for this game is, this one is to have 3 cherry blossoms extend past the end of either side of your pot. It doesn't matter which side it's on, but if you get 3 over the edge of the pot, then you can make the choice. In fact, you have to decide at that point, I'm going to collect this and get 8 points for it, or I'm going to pass because I think I can get 5 on. But if I pass, I risk it of maybe the other player takes that instead and then I get nothing, or maybe the end of the game comes and I never get to that. So I don't do that. And then we've got the same thing here, but with fruit. So with fruit, if you get at least 3 on, you can choose to keep it,
Okay.
or you can decline and then go for 5.
Okay.
And then this here is the number of wood pieces that make up your bonsai tree. And same thing, I can go for 8 and get 5 points,
Okay.
or I can say, nope, I'm going to go for the 12
Yeah.
and then get 15. So a little bit of a risk with that system there.
Okay. So when is the round done, or
So the game
when do you
ends
stop?
after this card deck has been depleted.
Okay.
So what happens is once the
Yeah.
final card is revealed,
Yeah.
we each get one more turn, and then the game ends.
Okay.
And I do just want to make a quick note. We are using the Tokonoma variant in the game. And all that means is that all of these, they're called parchments, but all of these extra scoring pieces have been placed in the top half of the deck.
Okay.
And that just makes for a little bit more of a consistent game experience then.
Sure.
But before we get started, Steve, I feel like something's missing.
There is definitely something missing.
What have you brought for us today?
Oh boy, do I have a treat for us. So this is kind of cool because, when you think, you gave me the theme of, do you remember what it was?
I believe the theme I gave you was growth.
Yeah, growth or personal growth, inner reflection.
Inner reflection.
Yeah, so personal growth, inner reflection. And it's kind of cool because when I thought about that, definitely a bonsai tree like comes to your mind. Because you think about that, we see it in movies where, the person's just taking their time. It's so serene
Yeah.
and nice, isn't it?
It is. And bonsai themselves are really super cool. It's not like it's a genetically modified tree just made to look smaller, but these are really like full-on trees, just miniature versions of them. They're super, super cool. And the level of care and detail and patience that goes into tending those, it's really, really super cool.
It is cool. Yeah, so I don't own a bonsai tree.
Right.
So when I think about, for myself, like kind of inner reflection and just taking the time to personally grow, I think of almost like a quiet place, somewhere that I can just be with myself, be with my own thoughts. And funny enough, that place doesn't even have to necessarily be quiet around me. I think of a beach. So you got the water lapping up, or even next to like a raging river. It's still, basically you're in nature.
Yeah.
Right? When you're pruning your bonsai tree, you're in nature. It's all kind of part of that. And for me, and I'm sure for you too, when you think about the world of whiskey, there's something that definitely is going to come to mind, and that's Scotland.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Because, we picture perfect rocky shores with the water just splashing against the rocks, the water's misting into the air, all that salt water. And for me, that would be an awesome place to just kind of reflect and do some personal growth.
It is on my bucket list of places I want to go visit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so you know what? The bottle that I've brought really encapsulates that to a really nice degree as well.
I'm very excited to hear about and see what you got for us.
Yeah. So, for us, Scotland, we think about Scotland, we think about those world-renowned whiskeys.
Yeah, do we ever?
And so for us, we call that Scotch. Do you know what the Scottish call that?
I assume they called it Scotch too. I don't know.
No, they call it whiskey.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
I've got a friend who's Scottish, and I was talking to him about Scotch, and he's like, "What?" And he's like, "That we just call that whiskey because they're from Scotland."
I wonder if Scotland imports from other countries as well.
Perhaps.
They have.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
And
Okay.
they would probably then call it Canadian whiskey, American,
maybe.
Japanese whiskey, which we do the same thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So the particular distillery that we're going to be enjoying is actually one of the oldest. Actually, it is the oldest on its little island of Skye. They've been operating for over 200 years, which is pretty cool. You know that if you've got that kind of longevity, they're doing something right. They're going to be making something good. And really their motto is made by the sea. So kind of for me, that really encapsulates that personal growth, inner reflection piece.
Ooh, I can taste the salt water now.
Oh, me too. Right. And really it's going to lend to a lot of those really delicious flavors that you get from that salt water, those peat bogs that grow next to it.
Getting excited.
All those kind of things, right?
Excited.
Yeah, exactly. So, so this expression is really going to help us when we're making our own little personal growth
Nice.
going on here too. And they really have a long, rich history of a family of distilleries that they're part of. And I think that you've heard of a few of them. Col Ila.
Yes, I have.
Dalwhinnie.
Yes, indeed.
Lagavulin.
Oh, absolutely.
Oban.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Walker.
Of course, everyone's heard of Johnny Walker.
Right?
That's
And many more. So these guys are all underneath this family of distilleries.
Ooh.
And so when I think about personal growth and pruning our tree.
You're not just thinking of facial.
No, not the facial personal growth. I would like to use my little reveal box.
I love and hate the box.
I love the reveal box. And so I reveal to you, to the audience first, this really encapsulates personal growth. In a reflection, we have, I'm going to go this way first. We have Talisker.
Ooh.
2002,
Ooh.
their special release, 11-year-old single malt Scotch. That bottle and the sleeve that it's in grabs your attention immediately. Yeah. And so there's a kind of really cool little story about it, but you see the jellyfish on the front, the bioluminescence from it, and really it kind of takes you to those cliffside
That's beautiful.
beach where that water is smashing against the rocks. And that kind of goes into the little bit of the legend about this little creature that's on the front of the bottle.
The jellyfish?
Yeah.
Tell us.
There is an awesome little legend that goes along with it. And so this special little luminous creature was drawn up from the darkest depths of the ocean by a ferocious storm. It made its way all the way to the Talisker distillery, where it lit up the distillery floors and lit up anything it touched became enlightened. And so what that did is we think about Scotland and the Isle of Skye, peaty, smoky, all that kind of stuff. This tampers it, apparently. This creature got into it and just tampered all that and gave it a little bit of a sweet smell and taste to it.
This thing
That's
open.
what they're telling us, so that's what we're going to try and see. So I think that's really going to go really well with our game and help us just to relax, build our little bonsai trees, reflect.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So obviously Scottish or Scotch, so they do, majority of them are always finished in ex-bourbon casks, which is no different here. And we've got a cask strength, so it's one of their special reserves, so it's cask strength at 55.1 ABV or 110.2.
That sounds beautiful.
Proof. Yeah.
And
so I love the sleeve.
yeah, it looks great.
The bottle's just as fantastic. That awesome? We'll put that up beside the gate.
I like it. Let's take a look over here.
And I have heard some really good things about this. And I am super excited to give her a go.
I love it.
Yeah. So I've had other Taliskers, and actually, little story. So we were at a friend's wedding not that long ago, and we had just got in. Some other people had been there already. And I walked up, was chatting with a friend, and what do you have in your glass? And I could smell the smoky peatiness. And he was standing next to me. I wasn't like I was in his glass. Like you could smell it from just standing next to him, and he had some Talisker 10 in it, which is really cool. Nice. And so ever since that, I've had this bottle for a little bit. But I've been really hoping to try this because of the story that goes along with it, because I love that peaty smokiness, but it'd be interesting to see how it gets a little bit tampered down by that ferocious beast.
Do what you do best and crack that thing open.
All right, so his favorite part is when I'm trying to crack this.
It's the fumbling that I really
My
enjoy.
favorite part is when he fumbles through the names.
yeah.
All right, let's crack this bad boy open.
Okay, let's hear it.
And you want to hear that?
I want to hear
No,
that.
this should really be a Call of the Wild with the jellyfish
Hush, everyone.
popping out of
Let's
here.
hear it.
That was special.
That was good.
That was
Okay,
special.
let's get-
All right,
let's get our
Les.
glasses up here.
I'm gonna have a nice little healthy share
Oh, I like
while
that.
we enjoy making some bonsai trees.
Check out the color of that. I like it.
Bonsai Talisker. Yeah, that's really. That is liquid gold right there. So yeah, like you've
There's
got
definite
that
sweetness.
sweetness
Definite
to it,
sweetness.
though, eh? Because you get the smoke, like that's right there, which I love. I'm a peat guy. I love peat, but
Pete's a great guy.
I don't like Pete, but I like Pete. Actually, Pete's a good guy.
I can't.
But that's fantastic.
I'm having a hard time nailing down exactly what's in it. It all smells wonderful. There
It
is
does.
definitely peat. There is definitely some sweet. I feel
But
like
it
there's
is sweet,
some other
though.
notes
Yeah.
coming up in there too.
So probably with the ex bourbon, you're gonna get
okay,
get
yep.
some of that. But that can be really tampered down with just
Did you
the
say
age and so on.
There's a little sherry in there too.
No, it doesn't say sherry on
No.
it. No.
Okay.
No, I was wondering too if that was the case.
Maybe just that little hint
It's
of
just-
sweetness though.
yeah.
That it shares.
All right, let's get into
Yeah.
it
Let's
because this is.
let's do it.
I could smell that all day long. That's really good.
Steve, there's something special there.
There
I can
is.
see why your buddy's glass, which he just had,
He had just regular 10.
year.
Yeah, the Talisker 10.
Man, that it. Sometimes you taste the whiskey and the nose on it, the smell is
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
And then you go in for a drink and it's like, it's just okay. The nose is nice, but it rewards you with the flavor.
It does.
The
Yeah.
flavor is much more rich than the smell is. The smell is great, but that flavor on it is fantastic.
And the longer it sits, the more that peatiness hits, like that smoky, it kind of tingles across your tongue, which is really nice, but it's sweet too. It's almost like, wow, it's just the best of both worlds.
Yeah. And I love the finish on it because you get a nice, rich flavor that lingers long after you've swallowed the spirit. Like I'm still getting delicious just highlights on my tongue and the roof of my mouth from it.
Yeah, like it goes all through your mouth. It doesn't just go down your tongue and it's gone. It like sits in your entire mouth. It's so nice.
It's so light in color as well.
But I've seen a lot lighter.
Sure.
But that is like that's liquid gold.
It's delicious. It
beautiful.
really is.
That is tasty. That is actually maybe a little bit too tasty. Because that goes down really quick.
It may be a little too tasty. It is absolutely delicious.
That is really nice. That's great for an afternoon of playing some board games.
Oh, it's great. Okay.
But yeah, like I can't. The funny thing is, like I was waiting to see because you get a little bit of spice on your tongue
Oh, yeah,
and so
there's
on,
lots of spice.
but there's no spice to the nose. Not that I'm picking up, but there is something else there. Maybe by the end of the game, we'll have figured it out. But that's really nice.
So good.
Well, I think that's going to pair really well with this game.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Speaking of this game, let's get back into it.
I love that. So just kind of, I like all the little details and everything, like especially with the game. Like it's such a beautiful game. And then you've got the nice little Isle of Skye. I don't know which way it goes. Right on the top of the cat.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's so cool. I love it.
The production quality on both of these is quite nice.
Quite nice.
And I think the whiskey you've paired with this is going to go quite well. I feel like I'm learning more about whiskey with every bottle that we pop and open.
Yeah.
And as I grow as a person, I want to grow my tree and see what kind of bonsai tree we can get out.
Nice segue.
Thank you. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
So, as the first player, I started off just with one piece of wood. You start off with a few more pieces, but I do get the benefit of I get to choose something first.
Yeah.
And
is there anything in the rules about who goes first?
the oldest person, which is
Oh,
why
that is
yesterday
why,
I
yeah.
asked you.
Yeah, you are an old man.
I just confirmed. who was older.
like
I know it's pretty close, but I'm older, thus more wise.
Oh, sure.
So I should go first.
That's what he thinks.
Now, what I'm battling with here is I could take this card, which there's only one of these in the game, and I know it's going to hit me 2 points for every cherry blossom, which is really, really good. But this early in the game, I'm also feeling a little greedy, and I want a lot of pieces. So I'm going to grab him, the master.
Nice.
He gives me 2 wood pieces.
Yep.
And I get a leaf and a fruit.
Nice.
And the maximum I can hold here is 5, so at my maximum capacity. You can always draw more, you just have to end your turn at your capacity limit.
Okay.
With the master, after I draw him, I just flip him upside down.
Okay.
Okay. These all slide down.
Okay.
And then a new card comes in.
Okay.
So this card that's been revealed, it's a parchment, and it's going to give you 2 points for every growth card that you have. Growth cards are going to allow us to put more abilities up here. We don't have any yet, but we'll see some come out.
We'll start
no
seeing
doubt
them.
shortly. That's right.
Okay. All right. So, well, why don't I go with this guy anyways?
Excellent. So same thing with that. You just flip it upside down after you take it.
Okay.
And then we'll go through all those cards at the end of the game for final scoring.
And I don't get that. I just get these. So
That's
I get a
right.
leaf.
Oh, thanks for reminding
I wasn't going to go without
That's right.
taking my pieces there.
Okay. I could take another piece, but I can't get any more of these. So I think I'm going to go into a cultivate roll. And again, I can put that up. I can put that up, and then I got to choose what I'm going to do for my third one. Okay. I think because I'm starting, I'm just going to grab another tree to go out that way. And I'm just going to build up my bonsai tree like that. Nice. And I'll stick this over here. Okay, and that's my turn.
Very nice. Okay. I think, so I've got 4. So if I was to take this one, would I just choose one or the other?
Well, this actually increases your capacity by 2, which in hindsight is probably what I should have done. And then you can take the leaf and the fruit.
And I can take both. Beautiful. I kind of like that. But you're still only allowed to do the 3 of those?
3 of those right now until we get some more growth cards.
Okay.
Speaking of which, timing-wise, a growth card just came out. So they place on this side and will increase your growth amount.
Okay.
I do think I do need some end-of-game scoring things, though, because they're very important. So I'm going to grab this one to score based on my growth cards.
Perfect.
And then I pick up a wood and a cherry blossom. Let me slide and flip. Okay.
Very nice. This is a dilemma of sorts.
What are you thinking here?
Because I could just keep collecting.
Well, you can really
I could just keep collecting, and then eventually I will be able to place what I want. So with this one here.
So the growth card goes beside. So then when you go to cultivate, instead of being restricted to the 3, you could then put 4 different pieces.
But it would be...
It has to be a cherry blossom.
cherry blossom.
And you don't have to put it if you don't have it or don't want to.
Yeah.
But it gives you more options.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm going to be a little funny on this, and I think I'm going to grab this guy. Which allows me to do 2
So with
more.
these, the way they're lined up, you just put them next to each other so that you can see nicely that way.
So I still get to take my
that's
wood.
horrible. It was actually a really good move. Okay, we now have our first helper card come out.
Nice.
And the helper is a little bit different. Notice he's got the up arrow on it.
Okay.
So the helper, whenever you take a helper, whatever symbols are indicated here, you can immediately put on your tree. They have to come from your own supply.
Yeah, okay.
But they go up that way.
Oh, that's cool.
I think I'm going to grab this other points card because they're really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I get to choose either a wood or a leaf. And I'm going to take a wood.
Nice. You would.
Yeah, totally. Totes for reals.
Good, good. Okay, and then so the master card again does...
The master gives you extra die or extra resources. So he can pick any resource you want, plus you get those 2 down.
Plus those 2. Okay. Well, I think what I may end up doing is I'm going to take this guy.
Excellent.
Which still 2, 4, 6, 8. So I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So can I still take 1?
You can technically take both, but you have to end your turn at the 9, so you'd have to return 1 tile back.
Oh, okay.
So if you were going to return the wood or the cherry blossom, then
just
don't take
the
it.
wood.
But I mean,
okay, I'll just take this.
Okay, that's perfect.
Perfect.
And then you slide down.
Okay.
So I do have 5 pieces, which is at my max. However, I think I'm going to grab this guy, so the helper. So I'm going to take these resources first, a wood and a cherry blossom, but then I can put up a cherry blossom and any other resource that I want. So I'm going to put up a wood and a cherry blossom, and I'm now still at my 5 capacity, so I'm okay there.
Yeah.
Okay, and he goes face down.
Excellent. Yep. So
Slide and flip.
Beautiful. Cool. Okay, so what I think I'm going to end up doing is I will do a production.
Cultivate.
Right. Yep. So I'm going to do that, and I can do one of these.
Nice.
Okay, so I will start building my little tree.
Excellent.
So yeah, I think I've got a nice little.
You've got a fantastic. I'm jealous of your tools that you have. I am going to.
But I'm
going in for the points again. So I'm going to grab this. Actually, so I'm going to grab that. And what I'm going to do is I am going to take the leaf and I'm going to return a cherry or a fruit for it.
Okay.
Okay.
So this one here, it was what was empty around it?
Every side that's adjacent to the cherry blossom that there's no tile, you get a point for. So they can score you up to, so this one right now would be worth 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if I put anything else next to it, it reduces its value.
Okay. So I did reduce its value, but
so that's okay.
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, let's see here. Do I want to, I have 2, 4, 5. So I actually can do this.
Nice.
I'm going to take him, so I get a free one, which I'm going to take a cherry blossom.
Excellent.
And I'm going to, I get a wood.
And a cherry blossom.
And a cherry blossom. Actually, you know what? I forgot. I'm going to actually do 2 wood.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay.
And he goes there. Okay.
Okay, I'm at my capacity of 5. So I think I'm going to do a cultivate action. And I will do these ones. I'm just going to do a little check for my number of wood pieces. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm not quite at the first goal yet.
Okay.
Okay, and that's my turn.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I do that. Just thinking here, if I grab that little helper dude, I can put out
2 pieces right away.
2 pieces right away. Plus, then I still have my others open. Is that correct or no?
You would just do one of those 2 pieces.
Okay, and then I would just wait for the next turn to do the next. I'm going to do that anyways.
Okay.
Why not?
So you get a wood and whatever you want.
Wood and whatever I would like. So I'm going to go that way.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to go with this. Do I want that? Yeah.
Now, leaves always have to touch wood.
Yep. I was just going to fix that.
Excellent. Okay.
I heard it in my brain as I was doing it.
Excellent. I think I'm going to grab this guy here because that gives me 2 cherry blossoms, a wood and a leaf, which puts me over my capacity. So I think I will ditch one of my wood.
It's my turn.
Go for it.
Yeah, you went.
Right.
Everything moved down. Oh man, it's so funny because as we're playing through it, I'm looking forward to seeing how everything runs out. I really want to build this part up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what happens because I'm gonna go with this.
Those are good moves. Those are good moves.
Because that gets me an extra.
Because you're well built up, and I feel like I'm quite limited with what I can do over here currently.
Yeah.
I am going to cultivate again. I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go so just sort of confirm there, and here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. here. And I'm just going to do a little count again of my wood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm still just underneath the initial goal. And that's my turn.
Okay, that's your turn. All right, perfect. All right, so I think I am going to grab this guy here. So I will get 2 wood. I get a leaf, and I get another cherry blossom.
How's your capacity going there, though?
I'm good. I can have 9. So
Yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, I've got 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I have to put one of those things that I took back. And funny enough, I'm going to put a cherry blossom back.
Okay, excellent. Ooh, more point cards. I do feel like I need to up my production game a little bit. Oh, but I could take that and get 3 things. I need to do my production at all. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to grab a wood tile.
Nice. Good job. It's another wood one.
Another one came in.
It doesn't give me anything, so I'm not going to go for that at the moment.
Talisker is so good.
Nice. All right, I'm going to do some production. So I've got this. I've got this. I can do this. I can do this. So it's got to be touching 2 leaves, which is fine. And I've got a freebie, which I think I'm going to do another piece of wood.
Okay, nice.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Another leaf, maybe over here. Maybe over here.
Nice, getting all fancy.
Said.
Ooh, I like that.
Here. And this guy goes
in between, nice and neat. Okay, fantastic.
cool. I felt that. I feel like that was a great round for
I feel like
me.
that was a good round too.
It's so pretty.
I think I'm going to grab this guy here. So I'll get my leaf and a fruit, and then I can take a wild card of whatever I want. I think I'm going to get rid of one of these and then take another wood.
Nice.
Okay, that's
Good job. Good job.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I can do some grabbing. So I think I'm gonna do.
Yeah, the points cards
This
are
guy.
really good. And that just flips upside down.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
then you
get.
two.
It's a leaf, right?
Leaf and an orange.
And an orange.
Or fruit. But the fruits look a lot like oranges.
They look a lot like oranges. Yep.
Okay, lots of really good stuff up there.
There sure is.
I think though, and I am at capacity for my stuff, so maybe I'm going to cultivate, and I can do 2 wood, cherry blossom if I so choose, and one of those, and that's what I choose to do. So come out here, and maybe we'll come out here. Excellent, and we're going to do, actually, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to do a cherry blossom, got that there, a cherry blossom here. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm going for that 3 cherry blossoms outside of the area of the pot.
Yep.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I now have 9 wood. So I have to make the choice. Do I want to take that now, or do I think I can get to 12 and then not take 8? Because you can only ever have 1 from each of these rows.
Okay.
So I'm going to make the decision. You know what? I'm going for the 12.
Nice.
So I'm not going to take that reward, which means I can never collect it again.
Okay.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. Very good. So I had lots of time to sit and think.
Good.
But I didn't do any of that because I was just doing some inner
growth?
self-growth. Yeah,
that's nice.
Because I was enjoying my nice Talisker. That is really good. I just keep going back to it because like I love smoke. Like I love a campfire in a bottle.
Yeah,
I'll call it. But this one is so sweet, and the longer it's been sitting on your tongue, the sweeter it gets. It's so interesting. It's so cool. I don't know how they did it, but I love that they did it. Okay, so this is my turn now. And I think what I'm going to do is... Oh, might as well do this guy.
You're such a jerk. Yep.
I know. A leaf. And that guy, so I'm still good.
Excellent.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Slide down. And I'm going to use this opportunity to... Oh, that's really good. I'm actually going to grab this guy because he's a ton of points. So 2 points per master.
Beautiful.
Which I think I have a number of masters. So
Okay, nice.
I'm looking forward to that.
That's great. And I'm happy you did because I want to expand my little...
Oh, that's so
Plus,
plus
it prevents you from getting
you
it.
can also choose
and
one
I
or
think
leaf.
I will take another piece of wood.
And,
I would.
okay. Well, while you're focused on that, I think I'm going to spend a little time on my growth.
Nice.
So I'm going to meditate. And then I get to take a wood and a cherry blossom.
Nice. Okay, so I think I'm going to do a... Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Although, if I take this guy here, I think I'm going to take the little helper dude.
Nice.
Especially since I have a card
You
in
get to
here that
choose your
helps.
wood or your leaf.
Yeah, I think I will do another piece of wood.
Good.
And then he puts up a piece of wood.
And whatever you want.
And whatever I would like. So, I'm going to take my piece of wood this way.
Okay.
Yeah, this way. And I believe I'm going to do...
Do you believe in yourself?
Oh, I believe. I believe in me. So I'm going to do...
Anyone, so I'm glad you do. Okay.
Whatever.
Excellent. That slides.
Okay.
This flips.
Beautiful.
And I think let's get 2 more pieces. And I'm going to grab this. And I'm going to collect a wood and a cherry blossom.
Very nice. What do we got? Okay. All right. Just going to work my way through this here. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy here.
Nice.
That's a leaf, right? Yep.
That's so you get a leaf or a wood.
Yep.
Which would you like?
So I think I'm going to take, well, I'm going to take my leaf or a wood. Yep.
Good.
And
And
then
then
take a piece of wood, and then I get to do a leaf and whatever I feel
That's
like.
right.
So I think I'm going to go with this guy here.
Very nice.
And I'll put up another fruit.
Excellent. Okay, we slide, we flip. Just doing a little check too. I think you're at 7 wood out in your tree.
3, 6, 7. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. We're just going to be mindful.
Yep.
And I got 5 pieces here. So if I take any more, I'm going to be restricted. So maybe I will do a cultivate action. So cultivate, I now get to do my 2 wood. I get to do it. Oh, I don't have any green though. Leaf, but I can do an orange or another cherry blossom. So maybe we'll go with that. So I think I said I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I put up 2 more, I'll have 10, 11. Ooh, let's go here. Excellent. And then I'm going to put a cherry blossom, which I'll put out here. And I got a cherry blossom, which I'm going to put out here. Now I'm looking at...
The cherry blossom has to connect to a
Thank
leaf,
you. It has to
correct?
connect to a leaf. That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
So we're not going to do that.
Just keeping him honest.
However, we will throw a cherry blossom here. And what this does for me is I now have 1, 2, 3, 4 cherry blossoms outside of the edge.
Okay.
So I'm going to decline collecting that.
Okay.
And I'm going to go for the other.
Nice.
I'm just going to count up my wood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So
It
I'm just
hasn't
1
changed
shy
since last
of the
time you
other.
counted, just so you know.
That's right. Okay, so that's my turn. You're
Nice. Okay, very good. Okay. Funny enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It hasn't changed since your last turn, Steve.
Yeah, I know, but that wasn't in my same turn that I counted it. All right, so I'm going to use my little helper dude.
Did I count it twice?
So I get to take a piece of wood if
Yeah.
I'd like. Actually, I think I have enough wood, so I'm going to grab a leaf. And he allows me to put a piece of wood.
Yep.
And I believe in myself, for sure. Yeah, let's go this way.
Okay.
And then, so that puts me at 8.
Okay.
And I get to do another one. Yeah. So I think I'll just put another piece of wood.
Okay.
And I'll take this guy.
Nice. Good job, Steve.
Okay.
We slide and we flip. Okay, so I'm really looking to get more cherry blossoms and leaves because I want that next objective. So I think I'm going to grab this here. I may actually grab this here. I don't know. As a go from two. So I'll take that. And that'll give me a leaf and an orange.
Nice.
And we'll flip.
Slide and flip. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And we are getting close to the end of the
We
game.
are.
There's only
I
a few
see
cards
this.
left there.
Yes, I see this. All right. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is I will do a cultivate, which I'm going to do all of those. Yes, I can do all of those.
Okay.
So go this way. I'm going to put. Let's go this way.
Very nice.
So I'll put my
Cherry blossom
cherry
there.
blossom there. I've got another.
Fruit can never be next to
No,
fruit.
no. Okay. So gotta put my other one here.
That works.
And my fruit there. Okay.
That was a pretty good action.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll take it.
we're back to me. I need some cherry blossoms, so I'm gonna grab this guy here, so I can get a wood and a cherry blossom.
Nice.
Slide and flip.
Beautiful. So I've got nothing to cultivate, so I might as well take.
Oh, and actually, before you go,
Yes.
you've got 3 oranges, so you can decide to take that, or you can decide to pass.
Yeah, I'll just take
Yeah, that's pretty smart at this stage of the game.
I believe at this stage, yes,
Yeah,
I'll,
that's right.
I'll just take that.
Okay.
All right, and yeah, I'll take one of the masters because he gives me a fruit, a leaf, and I'll take a piece of wood.
Very nice.
Excellent.
Okay, the final card has been revealed.
Okay.
We each have one more turn, and that's it.
Okay.
So for my turn, I am going to take a cultivate action. So I will stick up a piece of wood, and I believe that gives me my 12, as I've counted 11 a few times before. So I'll take that.
Yep.
I'm going to put up a leaf, and I'm going to put this one up, which gives me my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flowers outside of the pot bounds.
Nice.
Excellent, and I can't actually put up any of my oranges because I used both my. I got to work with one anyway. Okay, so that's my turn. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll cultivate because grabbing any of those doesn't really necessarily help me.
Yeah, depending on some of the objectives you grabbed, you can
Yeah.
get some points from them.
Yeah.
But you can probably get more points for putting stuff in.
Yeah. All right. So let's go with this guy here. He connects. I'll lose 1 point for that,
But you gain 7, so
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Exactly. And then my piece of wood, I'll just place there.
Very nice. Okay, so that is
Now what?
Bonsai. That's the end of
Nice.
the game. So we go to final scoring.
I'm taking a picture of my little bonsai
Yeah.
tree because I really love it.
I'll actually
I
take
think
a
it's
picture
such-
of my tree too.
Nice.
Actually, if you just want to take a picture of my tree for me,
I will do so. Yeah,
you can save that for
I love it.
socials.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Excellent. Okay.
I like mine more, but that's okay.
Well, I mean,
No, I'm just joking.
They're
both
they're
actually
both good
They're
trees.
actually quite
They're both
beautiful.
good trees.
Yeah.
We'll see which one.
I just think yours is gonna fall over.
We'll see which one is better. Some of the real bonsais are really slanted to one side,
Yeah,
though.
it's pretty cool.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do,
Okay.
according to their little sheet, wood is worth nothing.
Okay.
And then we're going to count up our leaf tiles. How many leaf tiles do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So 8 times 3 is 24. That was pretty good. I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be 15 points for me.
Good.
Then we're going to count the sides on your flowers.
Okay.
So how many empty sides do you have next to your flowers?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13 points. I may do a little better here.
Yeah, I think
so I get 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.
Nice.
And oranges, you're going to slaughter me on because there's 7 points each, and you've got 4 of those. So it's 28 points, and I have none.
You have 0.
Okay, we're then going to go to abilities from our cards. So we want to get all the parchments,
Okay.
which are the ones with the colored borders. Okay, so let's go through each of your parchments and see how much they score.
So I get 2 points for every orange.
So that's pretty
2,
good.
4, 6. That's 8 points.
An extra 8 points.
Okay. I get 2 for every
Helper. So how many helper cards do you have?
I think I had a couple. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So that would be 8 points.
Yep.
And then
2 for all of my
cherry blossoms.
cherry blossoms.
So you get 3.
2, 4, 6.
So 6. So 8 plus 8 is 16. Plus 6 would be 22 points.
Yep.
Okay. I've got 2 points for every growth card. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nice.
So that's 10
You
points.
snuck up on me with those growth
Yeah,
cards,
we
didn't
did.
you?
1 point for every leaf, which I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nice.
1 point for every piece of wood, which I've got 12. So that would be 12 points.
Yeah, we've heard you count them a few times.
Yeah, a few times. And then 2 points for every master card.
Nice.
And I had a few of those. I guess I ended just with 3 master cards. So it'll be an extra 6 points.
Nice.
So it's 10, 15 plus 12, 37 plus 2 is
39.
39. Thank you. 10, 22. That's not right. Hold on. 10 plus 12, 22 plus 11 would be
23. Or 33.
33. Yeah, 33. Okay, excellent. Then we go to our bonus objectives.
Okay.
So your total for that?
I have 14.
Excellent. And I have 31.
Wow. Look at you.
Okay, so we add all these up together, which I'll do now.
While you do that, I will sip on my Talisker.
You did very well. Okay. Final score.
He didn't do the, oh.
And you can...
So I know what that means.
when there's no O, it means less is 1.
Yeah.
However, you can still double check my math afterwards.
Sure, I
But
would
Steve,
love
it
to.
was an incredibly close game. This was my 4th playthrough of the game in the last few days.
Yeah.
I had the benefit of playing this with 3 players.
Okay.
I played it with 4 players. And now this is my first time playing it with 2 players.
Nice.
And with that, I have won
Okay.
with 107. You were close behind
Yep.
with 101 points. So a very tight-necked
Yeah,
game.
that's good.
One thing... Actually, I'll ask you first. So what's your total? What are your thoughts on the
I like
game
it. It's
Bonsai?
a really cool little game. And it's, so it's funny because you are competing against each other, obviously. But during the game, you are more focused. I almost don't even care what you're doing.
Yeah.
I am more focused on kind of what I'm doing and how I'm laying things out. I did watch kind of how you laid out your tree because I figured, okay, he's played it a few times. He's going to have a bit of an idea of how to place things. But we went in totally different
Absolutely.
routes. Like we totally pruned our our tree in different ways. So it's I really enjoy this. And again, you know what I say. Do I want to play it again? Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to play this one again, which makes it a great game to me.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed this as well. The one thing I will say, though, is I don't think this game scales as well based on player count.
Okay.
2 players is actually my preferred way of playing this game. 3 is solid
Which
as
is
well.
strange because most of the time 2 players is like the worst way to play a game.
What I find, though, is if you're playing with 4 people, you're using the same stack of cards. They do take out a few for a 2-player game.
Okay.
So you get a couple more in the 3-player and 4-player mode, but not enough to compensate for it. And I think in a 2-player game, you get to build your bonsai trees a little bit bigger than you do in the other player modes.
Okay.
But otherwise, I really enjoy it. It is a peaceful game. Like you say, there's no kind of like take that or against your enemy. The biggest thing that happens is sometimes, there may be a card that I wanted that got taken. But on the flip side, once that happens, the cards slide down and you get a little bit of a better reward for getting a different card that's left.
Yeah. And you get rewarded for the longer you don't take a card.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can get more of the tree pieces off of it when you wait a little bit longer, which is kind of neat too. So there's a bit of a strategy to that too. Yeah.
And being that it's nature focused, one thing I also want to call it with the bonsai box is that it has a smaller footprint. So it's a little more, some games, come in the standard board game size, but they don't require it, and it is kind of a little bit wasteful. With this, it's in a nice tight little package.
Nice.
I will talk about the box insert for it a bit.
Let's hope they did well.
If I can get it out. Well, they didn't, but I want to say in this case, it's okay.
That's okay.
It is a very tight box. So it is basically, there is no insert for it. But what they do is they give you ample baggies for it. And because there's not a ton of components to the game, this is a situation where you don't need a fancy board game insert because everything goes in easily, everything comes out easily. So there's nothing here, but it actually works. And with the smaller scale box and the ease of, you got 5 baggies hold everything. I'm quite happy with with how they put that together and the minimalist approach they've taken with it. And I do want to call out as well how thick and chunky these tokens are. Nice. They feel really good when you're building the tree, and the tree looks really good when it's finished as well.
Yeah, that's really cool. Something I noticed when you open the box, if you show it again, is that I love the attention to detail. Like even inside the box has some beautiful things on it, like some beautiful artistry. And the bottom there shows you the tools and stuff. So that's cool. I love all that kind of stuff.
Nice little attention to detail.
And like you said, I mean, they didn't need to have a separate little piece spot for everything because you throw it in a baggie. It's not a lot to figure out.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not going to take you forever.
Very quick setup with this game. Yeah.
That's really good. Nice.
Now,
what did you think of the whiskey?
I love this stuff.
The Scotch.
The Scotch is great. It tastes fantastic. This one was surprising for me. It's got a great nose, but I go back to the flavor is better than the nose. I think it's very rich.
I agree.
It's very tasty. It's delicious. I do love a strong peat. So whenever we get anything from Scotland, I do look forward to that peat. It is a little, like you say, muted there, but it's still definitely there. But it's a delicious. Talisker is fantastic.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like it is a bit muted, which is what they were going for, obviously, in the story that they came up to go along with it. But it's muted really well in that I'm not like, oh man, I wish it was smokier because it's just so nice. So the way that they got to it is just fantastic. I love it because it's still smoky peaty, but it's got that little bit of a sweet, and the longer it sits on your tongue, the more I enjoy it. I love it.
Delicious. And in that sense, I think you did a phenomenal job with your pairing. Going for that growth. I think this embodies what that is. The game we chose is simple but good. The Scotch you chose is simple, but it's good. It's delicious. And these two pair perfectly together.
I agree. I almost wouldn't want to play this with anything else because it's just so good.
Now, Steve, I have a question for you.
You do?
The Scotch that you have, is it a single malt?
It is a single malt.
So what's
a single malt
Tell
Scotch?
me, what is a single malt Scotch?
So we're going to get into this because we've had a little bit of back and forth.
There's been some back and forth.
So single malt Scotch in particular, so that means two things. So the malt part is malted barley. It's 100% malted barley. The single means that it comes from the same distillery. So that means they're not going to take Oban casks and mix it with Talisker casks, all that kind of thing. So that's where you get single malt from.
Okay, so that doesn't hold true in every country across the world, though. If you were to come to North America...
It does hold true in Canada.
Okay.
It does hold true in America. It does hold true in Japan. And it does hold true in Scotland.
Okay, but when I look up what a single malt is, I've heard that a single malt means like it can be different actual malts in it, but if it's all done in the same distillery, so all in the same shop, that it can still be a single malt, even though there are different grains in it.
So the word single kind of goes across the two as well. So single malt would mean one particular malt.
But not always.
No, it's a single malt.
But can I not have two malts in the same distillery and it be called a single malt?
I'm not sure what's difficult here because it's a single malt.
Oh, but I thought I was right.
No, you're incorrect. It's a single malt. I don't know how else to say it. And in particular, it's going to be barley. If it was a single grain, then you could have rye, corn, so on and so forth, wheat.
All in the same building.
Yeah.
Then.
And we've had some really good 100% rye and 100% wheat, and I love them. There's no barley in it. They cannot call it a single malt.
Ah, okay.
Because it's not singular malted barley.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for clearing that up for us. That was quite useful.
You're welcome.
You've done a phenomenal job.
I love
whiskey
this. Has
for
really
a
been
game.
good. Yeah.
This was a good game.
It was.
If you're going to play Bonsai,
Yeah.
you need to pick yourself up a bottle of Talisker 11-year special edition to go
Yeah.
with it.
2022 special edition.
It's so good.
There are some left, so you can look around for them. If we can get them in Ontario, you can get them anywhere.
That's true.
Basically, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. I love it. Thanks, Les. This has been really fun.
I've enjoyed it. I'm Les,
And I'm Steve.
and this is Tabletop Tastings.
That it is.
Have a great day.
Yeah.